buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning, 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz on this beautiful Thursday morning, today, January 11th. We're almost halfway through the month of January. Saying good morning to the producer of The Buzz, Miss Susan Watson. Susan is holding it down on the other side. Good morning, Susan. She's looking bright and chirpy as usual. We want to say that today we're going to continue with our regular segment with the RCIPS, and this can be heard on the second Thursday of each month. Our guest is Ms. PC Jodi-Ann Powery, Police Media Officer from the Cayman Islands Police Service Media and Communication Unit. Welcome and Happy New Year, Jodi-Ann.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me again this year.
I haven't seen you since last year.
No, you haven't. Yes, and you were on vacation, I hear.
Oh,
so
yes.
I hope you enjoyed that as
well.
well.
Oh, yes. I had family visiting.
Yeah.
From from December 22nd right up until January 8th. So I had a full house.
Yes.
You know.
It must be fun.
They've been here like 500 times.
Yeah.
But every time they come back, it's like they want to see everything new again, the same sights. So you have to make it exciting every time,
Yeah.
So I'm working.
You have to let them know that Cayman is a place that they should come to relax.
Well, it's now their second home that I'm here,
Yeah.
So, but we had a great time, and we just feel
excellent.
blessed to see it through to January 1st. January 1st, New Year's Eve, it was rough because there was nowhere to go, and the beaches were full.
Yes. Naturally.
And
when it's a holiday.
The traffic moved pretty well.
You thought so?
Yeah.
That's because you weren't coming down in morning. Well, yes, because the schools were out.
I'm talking about New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
It sounds like you were home, Jodi-Ann.
I really was.
But okay, so the RCIPS, the Winter Guardian Holiday Safety Initiative. How was the report like? What happened? Anything interesting to report?
Well, first of all, I guess for the people who didn't hear our last show, Operation Winter Guardian is an operation that we do annually during the month of December. And we take a holistic approach to Operation Winter Guardian. So it covers not just road safety, which is actually a very huge component of the operation itself, but it also considers safety for consumers, during that holiday period where consumerism increases over the holiday, with Christmas presents and that kind of stuff being purchased, and, food and things and all the festivities. And also for our homes and our communities. And also, what we try to do is we try to increase our presence so that things like the nightlife activity that increases with the holiday season as well, that people who go out to enjoy themselves feel secure in doing so. So during the month of December, we worked at minimum capacity for a lot of our areas and units so that we could increase the visibility of our police officers. So a lot of the police officers who worked in places like our crime desks, they were out and about on our roads.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were out on New Year's Eve, let me tell you.
Did you see a lot of us?
Oh, my gosh.
That's excellent news.
But it was, I like that. I felt safe, put it that way.
And that's good.
Yeah.
And generally, that is the feedback that we've been getting from the community. They liked the police presence. We wish we could do it all year round. Unfortunately, Operation Winter Guardian finished on the 2nd of January, but it doesn't mean that we're not out and about and that we're not out there. It just means that in that capacity, we don't have the resources to maintain that type of presence. And I don't necessarily think although we do have certain things that are happening, it's a matter now for us to look at when and where these things are happening so that we can mitigate that rather than have that full-flooded police presence every day, everywhere.
Because during that initiative, you had community foot patrol increase,
Yes.
right? You had high visibility of the mobile patrol.
Yes.
You had intensified your road enforcement operations.
Yes.
So all of this, of course,
Yes.
did contribute to a success. What we might say, a successful
Yeah.
Winter Guardian operation.
We did have quite a few incidents. For instance, there was a shooting incident at a liquor license premises over the holiday season. Somebody was injured. There was another firearm incident in the Georgetown area. And there was a violent crime incident on Public Beach that we had to publicize. However, I would say that if we had all this increased patrols, and we were very, very visible, and these things still managed to happen, I don't want to know what it would have been like if we weren't there. So in essence, it's very, very difficult for us to measure what prevention looks like because it's prevented. So there's no statistics for it. But I do feel like we didn't have any road fatalities, for instance.
Okay.
Because, and I feel like those vehicle checkpoints and just the knowledge, the knowing that we're going to be out there, allowed people to make better choices over the holiday season. And that's what we really want. We want people to make better choices. Yeah.
I mean, there was a checkpoint New Year's Eve by Hurley's, and people are like, why is the police here? You know, they're just standing there, not doing. But I thought, it kept the traffic back for a bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did help to control how people navigated the streets.
Well,
honestly.
And I'll tell you what, every year, and this year was not an exception, we have the most recorded collisions for the year in the month of December, every year without fail. And this month was no different. And a lot of those collisions happen at roundabouts, a lot of them. So it won't be uncommon for you to find that when we choose to put up a vehicle checkpoint, we may choose to put it at a roundabout because that will slow you down approaching the roundabout and allow you to make better choices like using your indicators and looking properly because of our presence there. So it's very, very strategic when we choose to go at a roundabout.
I see that.
Yes.
I see that. Now, how did the public respond to the initiative, and what kind of feedback did you receive?
I mean, there were mixed messages. And like you said, a lot of people were kind of like, well, why do you have to be here and why do you have to be there? And, the WhatsApp messages were going around to say, oh, there's a police roadblock here and a police roadblock there. But that's why we had them in short bursts and we had them simultaneously throughout the night. And it's fine that those things go around as well, because it increases the communication of drive better, do better, make sure that your vehicles are up to date because the police are out there. So even those messages that, sometimes would limit our enforcement, it also assists with the overall safety of the roads. So that's fine too.
This is Jodi-Ann. This is the first time. I always go somewhere for New Year's Eve, or I stay at home.
Yeah.
Or I go to church. But this year I decided to take my family out, to the beach. To have a beach time at midnight.
Yeah.
Right?
And
New Year's Eve.
Did you see the fireworks? Were they nice?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. But the traffic, I have never seen traffic like that.
It's usually like that, yes.
I think about 60,000 people were on the road at the same time, trying with the same idea,
Yeah.
And it was, I'm not doing that again.
No.
There's no way I'm going to be out there on a New Year's. Because, I mean, Pirates Week, we don't see that much traffic. You know,
No.
events that we've had before in Cayman, you do not see that much traffic.
Yeah.
So where did all these people come from? I didn't know we had that much people
and you know
Grand
what?
Cayman.
So we partner with the Arrive Alive 345 campaign.
Correct.
And the Purple Ribbon buses were out there. And
I saw them.
So they should have, in essence, I haven't got the numbers from Simon and them, but I'm sure they're going to do a follow-up appearance at some point on Radio Cayman to give the updates. But they should have reduced the amount of traffic on the road on New Year's Eve, because people should have been choosing to use that service, especially when they're going out drinking and stuff. And I know that a lot of people may have used the buses. So, and there was still that much traffic. I wouldn't know. I stayed home.
Good choice. Thank you for joining us this morning on the Business Buzz. We have in the studio PC Jodi-Ann Powery, Police Media Officer with the RCIPS Media and Communications Unit. Thanks to our sponsors this morning of the Buzz, Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years of service to Cayman, and Ruland's Global Skills Cayman Community.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Real estate decisions have a major impact on your life and work. A home may be the biggest purchase you'll ever make. Office space is the second highest cost after staffing. For savvy property decisions, a trusted advisor is vital. Ruland's reputation is built on that trust. Data-driven and fact-focused, Ruland's harnesses 25 years of experience and the latest market intelligence. We analyze every opportunity in the context of our clients' best interest now and in their future. For important real estate decisions, contact me, Sloan Ruland, and my team at 938-1000 or info@rulands.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cayman.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come on, let's praise the Lord. Come on, let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it. Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. In the studio, PC and Jodi-Ann Powery, Police Media Officer with the RCIPS Media and Communications Unit. Jodi-Ann, you're by your lonesome today.
I am. But that's okay. We're having a nice conversation.
I love it. I love
Yes.
it. Let's talk road safety for a bit.
Sure.
That's on the minds of most everybody these days.
Yes.
I was listening to Sterling and Talk today, and we had folks calling in about. I didn't hear the entire program, but just bits and pieces, you know, as I'm doing my work. And he was talking. Folks were calling about the scooters and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I don't want to talk about scooters today.
Great.
but I did hear I didn't because I didn't hear the entire conversation, so I can't really piggyback off of that.
Yeah.
But I was over at Kamana Bay one day having Foster's having lunch outside. It's pretty out there, and there was a gentleman on a scooter, one of the electric scooters, and he had a child about 5 years old, standing in front of him on the scooter. They had on helmet and everything, but I thought that was so not so safe to have a child. And the child didn't. He was crying. He didn't want to go on the scooter.
Oh,
That was the scary part. He
Yeah.
cried, and the father just lifted him and just made sure he's put him on that scooter.
It's very, very difficult when it comes to those vehicles. Currently, they are not covered under the traffic law. So we don't have very much leeway where they're concerned. But public assurance here, the traffic law is being reviewed, and those are one of the things that are definitely being considered to be included and implemented in terms of police regulations for those type of vehicles, as well as a little bit of control on how they're used. So hopefully sometime throughout this year we'll see some changes where those are concerned.
Okay. Something I thought about, those ATV, you call them ATV? My grandson, he has one.
4 wheels.
Yeah,
they're ATVs.
You can use them in the yard. And
They are not roadworthy.
They're not.
They're
Okay.
not meant to be on the road.
Okay, because I've never seen
Yes.
anybody use them on the road.
No,
But I'm
they're not
thinking that maybe
roadworthy.
one of these days,
Yes.
someone will get real wise and say,
Yeah.
well, it's moving.
Yeah.
If a scooter can move, this
Those-
can,
Those are in the traffic law, and they're not roadworthy vehicles. They're meant to be off-road vehicles. On dirt
when you
tracks
say
and
off-road,
dirt
you-
tracks and stuff
dirt
like
track,
that. Yeah. So there is
In the bush.
So I know. Yeah. So I know that there is like a trail. I think it's in West Bay where they use those. So like you
Right.
can pay to go
Correct.
and
Correct.
ride the ATV and whatever. And very good recreational activity, but they're not meant for the roadways, just like how dirt bikes aren't. So they don't have specific things that are needed in order to make them roadworthy.
you said
for
dirt
instance,
bikes are not supposed
Aren't
to.
there? No.
Not okay, but
So-
don't we have bikes?
So dirt bikes can be modified to make them roadworthy.
Okay.
So with the addition of mirrors, changing tires and that kind of thing, but they're not meant for road vehicles.
Okay, because I've seen some of those guys on the road doing wheelies and
Well,
stuff
if
like
they
that.
don't have license plates on them, it means that they're not meant to be on the road, and you should call 911 and let them know.
Okay. I'll take a look next time. Now that I know,
Yes, thank
But
you.
what are some of the most common causes of road accidents on our roads, Jodi-Ann?
There's so many causes. Let's start with the big ones and work our way down. So drinking and driving and speeding are the most fatal combinations when it comes to road safety. Those are the leading causes of our fatal accidents. And just right under them is distracted driving. It's driving and using a cell phone. It's driving and talking to, your passengers. It's driving and trying to operate, the radio and that kind of thing. When you are driving is a very, very, very dangerous activity, and you should give all of your attention, 100% of your attention to your driving at all times, whether or not you're in traffic, yes or no, because inattention is a leading cause of bumper-to-bumper accidents on the roads. And that is because people think that because they're in traffic and they're driving slow, that they have the leeway to do other things while they're in the vehicle. And time and
Put
time
on your
again,
lipstick. Check your coffee. Stuff like that.
time and time again, we've seen that is not the case based on the amount of collisions that we have year round.
Pedestrians and cyclists, how can we make our roads safer?
Well, the road is for everybody. It's not just for motorists.
Including the chickens?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the chickens.
They use the crossing
Yeah, they
very
do.
wisely.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
The road is for everybody, and we all have a responsibility to ensure that our roads are safe. So for cyclists, for instance, you have to make sure that you're riding on the right side of the road. And that is all cyclists, whether it is the scooters or whatever the case may be, they are meant to be riding with the flow of traffic because they're considered vehicles. Whether it's human propelled or
not riding or
electric,
moving in the opposite direction.
not in the opposite direction. You're not meant to be on the sidewalks. You're meant to be on the roadway, because the sidewalks are for our pedestrians. Yes, and pedestrians, when you're using pedestrian crossings, please pause for a minute, make sure that the vehicle that is coming is able to stop safely before you walk out. That is the right way to use a pedestrian crossing.
And I want to add that if you hit the light, the button,
Yes.
when you get to the other end, just hit it again. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Because
Does that? I didn't know that.
It keep flashing, so they take off.
I didn't.
walk in,
So if you
they're-
hit it again, it
I think
stops?
it's supposed to stop.
I didn't know that. So I'm going to try.
Discovery number 1 for 2024, Jodi-Ann. Yeah, I believe, don't quote me, but I believe it's supposed to stop. You're supposed to hit it again. And that means that, you're gone about your business, and it doesn't keep flashing for another maybe 30 seconds or 20 seconds.
Oh.
So everybody's just sitting there waiting for the light to go off.
Geez, now I'm going to have to find a pedestrian crossing somewhere because I
There's
really
one
want
right
to try
across
that.
here, right by the
Yeah.
one building, so you can check that as you leave the
I
building.
will.
Now, what advice would you like to offer to new drivers? We have plenty of those, and to those to the other ones about being safe on our roads.
Drivers in general, but especially new drivers, you have to make sure that you're familiar with the roads. And that also means the changes on our roadway. And that being said, yesterday a member of the public called me to complain about the new roundabout that we have right here at Bobby Thompson.
My friend circle.
Yes. It is new to all of us, and it may be a little bit confusing. So please make sure that you have a look. Be very, very careful. Use your indicators. Choose your lanes properly. One of the complaints is that when you are approaching the turnoff to go to the school, people are switching over and they're not looking properly before they do that. So make sure that you choose your lanes properly. That very, very left lane does not go all the way to Smith Road. So you have to change over before you get there, or use the middle lane to go directly to the stoplight.
That's the part that gets me, because it doesn't go all the way. It doesn't take you to the traffic light.
And the reason is, I wish that we had time to have. I wish I had enough time to have invited Miss Marion on so that she could come and have it. But maybe we'll do that next time. But the reason is because if the road was closed in order to get all the work done, then the flow of traffic would be tremendous. So the road is open while the work continues.
That makes
Right?
sense.
So the design is not complete as yet.
Okay.
All the signs haven't gone up as yet. But I do know that NRA usually puts things on their website to give instructions on how to use the roundabouts. And I don't think that this one is any exception. So please visit the NRA website, check the layout of that roundabout, and check how to use it properly.
The first time I used it, I was coming across from Fern Circle, from Academy Field, and I was heading up Savannah.
Yeah.
So I had to cross over. And I'm like, where do I go? Where does I was like,
yes, you have to be very, very, very,
it's a
very
small
aware. And
area.
that's why it's important for you to give 100% of your attention to what you're doing when you're driving. But that being said, the traffic isn't that bad in the mornings coming up from that side.
No, it moves.
Yes.
Moves.
So it is
In that little
definitely
area.
doing something
Yeah,
there. It is
yeah.
doing something.
Yeah.
It is
And in the
working
afternoons as
somehow.
well.
Yes.
Yeah. until you get a bit further up, then it's cramp again.
So it's doing a thing. It's doing a thing.
And we have to do our thing and make some money here.
So we have to make sure.
We're going to take a quick break, Jodi-Ann. Thanks to our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center. They're celebrating 45 years of, well, it'll be 46 this year. 45 last year. So, of course, it'll be 46 this year. 46 years of service to Cayman. Now, we also have Rowlands Real Estate. They're a proud sponsor of the Business Buzz.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Real estate decisions have a major impact on your life and work. A home may be the biggest purchase you'll ever make. Office space is the second highest cost after staffing. For savvy property decisions, a trusted advisor is vital. Rowland's reputation is built on that trust. Data-driven and fact-focused, Rowland's harnesses 25 years of experience and the latest market intelligence. We analyze every opportunity in the context of our clients' best interest now and in their future. For important real estate decisions, contact me, Sloan Rowland, and my team at 938-1000 or info@rowlands.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before with more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered. Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan. And from the lips of PC Jodi-Ann Powery, police media officer from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, media communication unit. She almost got caught. She said she's got good news.
Yes, so, but it's not for the masses.
Not from the mass. Okay. All right.
Just for you.
For me. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, I won't share once I have it. No, keep. Let's keep to the traffic related stuff, Jodi-Ann.
Sure.
What's the right way to handle a road rage situation?
I'm
seeing a lot of that on the roads.
There is a lot of road rage on the roads. People just do not drive with courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, first of all, the first thing I want to say is there's only so far we can go. There's only one way that we can get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's only one roadway. If you know that you have to be somewhere at a certain time, then you have to make an effort to get there at that time, which means that probably leave earlier than you normally do or whatever the case may be. For me, I live on the eastern side of the island,
Mm-hmm.
so I experience traffic just like everybody else.
Me too.
Yeah. So, but I also have a son that has to go to school, and his school doesn't open until 7:30. So I am resigned to going to work after the traffic. A lot of people probably don't have that option, but at this rate, we're just going to get there when we get there. And there's no point in arguing over it or trying to pick fights on the road, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is, please just drive with courtesy. Be kind to one another. The road rage is just not necessary. There's nothing that we can do about the traffic, or whatever can be done is being done with the roadworks that's going on. But at the end of the day, we live on a small island. Our population is increasing, which means that the amount of drivers that we have are increasing, and it means that, you know,
And different nationalities too.
yeah. So we have a
Sure.
lot of different driving cultures on our roads, and everybody is all mixed into one. So we just have to drive defensively, which means that we have to look out for one another rather than argue with each other. And you know, if there is road rage on the road, don't meet them there, because that's just adding fuel to the fire. Just carry on, and if you see poor driving behavior, you absolutely can call 911. You absolutely.
That
can
would be
call
my next
911.
question.
Yes.
Okay. How I can
Yes.
report dangerous driving.
I'd say the best thing to do is to call 911, and you give as much details as you possibly can, which means that if you can provide license plate number, you do. If you can provide a description of the vehicle, a description of the driver if you have one. And the direction of travel is extremely important, because it'll tell us which way our officers need to be coming from.
Okay. And this of course is passed on to the police.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, are there some common
But
traffic
please,
violations? Oh,
wait.
okay.
But don't use the phone while you're driving, please.
Are there any?
Let your passenger do it, or pull over.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
please.
That's a good bit of advice there. Jodi-Ann, are there some common traffic violations that we're not aware of as
All of
road
them.
users? All of them. Okay. All right. Your answer.
Sorry. No,
You
but
answer.
speeding is a concern. I mentioned the last time I was here that we have our new commissioner. He's fairly new. He started his post, Mr. Walton, in October, and one of the things that he wanted to do was he wanted to hear from the community what their concerns were, because the next step was for us to create our strategic policing plan for the next 3 years, and he wanted input of the community. So he had a east to west district community meetings, and in every single district that we went to, speeding was a concern. So that was a consistent message. So speeding is definitely one of the issues. Another issue is the driving and using the cell phones, the distracted driving. Distracted driving causes a lot of our bumper-to-bumper accidents, and that's what increases the traffic, especially during morning and evening commute. So imagine having an accident somewhere in the vicinity of Agricola Drive in Lower Valley. There is nowhere to go from there. There is no diversions.
Side road.
Nothing.
Well, there is a side road that takes you to Vigoro.
Yeah, no, I
but
mean before you get there.
Before,
yeah,
right.
just before you get there, there is nothing. So we're just stuck. We're stuck in the traffic if an accident happens in that area. And even when there are diversions, it's still very, very, very difficult to manage. So
Yeah, our listeners this morning might be thinking, well, there are so many shootings happening and stuff
There
like
are.
that. And
There are.
we're taking
Crimes are
light of educating the public here. But basically, Jodi-Ann, you do this every month.
Yes.
And to me, this is educating the public.
Yes.
And I like to be a part of it. And I think you do a pretty good job.
Thank you so much. And whatever the message is, and we'll provide messages again. We do this 12 times for the year, once a month, every month. But whatever the message is, it'll be according to what is happening. And yes, we do have a concern with firearm-related crimes, both in our communities and in the public in general. But those are things that we do put out messages on a regular basis. But these things, these small nuisances like, poor driving behaviors, they're not things that my unit would generally put out a press release on. So it's nice for the public to get this type of information and this perspective on a regular basis as well in some different formats.
Okay. Now, going back to traffic, we're just about the traffic this morning. I've noticed an increase of smaller cars, smaller vehicles on the roads, and they're doing
cost effective.
Yeah, but they're doing those drivers are doing some stunts.
Let us just be clear here, Miss Anita. Are we talking about the fit drivers, Miss?
Well, no, they're small. Well, you have other small cars, small, you know.
They are, there is an increase, and the reason for that, I believe, is because there's an increase in cost of living in general.
Okay.
And smaller cars are cost effective.
No,
They don't use a
when
lot
I
of
see small cars,
and
I love my Honda Fit. You know, I love my Honda.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I drive a Kia, but I love a Honda. But they're small cars like this Suzuki Swift, and you have the even the Coupe in them. But the Coupe sits on the road well.
Yeah.
You know. But some of the other cars, the smaller cars.
I think it's about choices, though. It's not
about
cars.
It's not about driving a smaller car. It's about the behavior of some of the drivers.
It's choices. It's choices that people make, and people just have to be accountable for their actions on the roadway. If it is that you're driving a smaller car and you think that because it's small, it can fit on the sidewalk or something, when you're in traffic, let us just not do that, though. Because, again, it's just about courtesy and just patience. You can't avoid traffic issues. You just can't. So let's just create a mindset where we can focus. And a friend of mine said that he uses traffic time as a time of reflection. So in the mornings he reflects on what his intentions are for the day.
Once it doesn't distract him.
Yeah. And on the way home, he reflects on what he did today, Yeah.
Because that can be distracting.
It can be a little distracting, if you're spaced out or whatever.
But just in case he gets pulled over.
Just calm down.
Just in case he gets pulled over, what should he do?
I would hope that our officers are going to be very, very polite to you and explain to you why you were pulled over. And I'd expect for members of the public to show the same courtesy. Do as you're asked. The officers are a presence of authority in that case. And so, and even if they're not behaving the way that they are meant to, it means that there is a protocol in which you can following that experience. It doesn't mean that you have to meet them there.
Okay.
Because I am not blinded by the fact that just like how there are poor members of the public who behave a certain way, that we don't have officers who may need some customer service training or whatever the case may be. And I encourage you to let us know when you've experienced these things, because if we don't know what the problem is, how can we fix it? But just be courteous, be kind, follow instructions, comply.
And on that same stop, how can I find out what my rights are during that traffic stop?
It depends on what you mean by your rights.
Okay, you say a police officer pull me over, gets a little aggressive, and I, you look at me, but I just want to know what my rights are. Am I able to? What am I supposed to do? You stop me, I'm complying.
Right.
But am I allowed to talk to somebody?
Absolutely. So
a lawyer, call my lawyer.
Is let us use a driving violation as an example. So if it is that you have been pulled over for a vehicle violation, say no insurance. No insurance is an arrestable offense. So it means that potentially you may be arrested for driving without insurance. So in that case, then what happens is that you'll be placed under arrest. You'll be taken into a police vehicle, Your vehicle may be towed at your expense because it is not insured to be driven on the roadway. And you'll be booked into custody. During that booking process, the custody officer, who is a sergeant on duty, will then explain to you what all your rights are. One of those rights is a right to a phone call, and the second right is a right to having a legal attorney. Whether or not you can afford one, yes or no, one will be provided to you.
I can go into a whole lot more. How do I, was the process of posting bail and all of that, but we'll save that for another time.
Sure.
We'll save that for
We're
another
out of
time.
time.
Jodi-Ann, it's been a pleasure having you in the studio this morning, as usual. Very entertaining.
I'm glad you're entertained.
And very informative as well.
You know, if one person takes something away from this and improves on anything where this message is concerned, it's a win for me. So.
And it's a win for me too. It's worth waking up at 4:30 to get into the studio. And Susan as well for producing the buzz, right, Susan? Thank you so much, Susan. And of course, thanks to you, Jodi-Ann, and to all our listeners and YouTube viewers. And of course, until when we bring you another buzz. Tuesday, January 16th, when we bring another business buzz. But we want to say thanks to our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center and Ruland's Real Estate. In the meantime, please stay safe. For me, your host, Anita Can. Goodbye.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the